How's it going, everybody? It's Sean here, and I'm back today to give you guys a review of the Fragment design collaboration with Travis Scott on the Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG SP. In what is one of the most hyped releases of the year so far, this is a three-way collaboration between Hiroshi Fujiwara's Fragment design, Travis Scott, and Jordan Brand. So this collaboration resulted in this high-top Jordan 1 along with the low-top Jordan 1, which I reviewed last week on my channel, but between the two, the highs were much more limited in comparison. So these guys released back on July 29th for a price of $200 US, which is the equivalent to roughly 260 Canadian. And the official colorway for this shoe is Sail, Military Blue, Black, and Shy Pink. So right now that I'm filming this low top version is reselling for about 18 or 1900 Canadian dollars, but this high top version, this one is going for nearly 5,000 Canadian dollars. And take this with a grain of salt, but from what I've been told, the production numbers on this shoe was super limited and definitely under 10,000 pairs, which makes it even more limited than the trophy rooms. And because of how limited this shoe was and how difficult it was to obtain, there was a lot of hate being thrown its way. But personally, objectively speaking, I think this colorway isn't bad at all. So fun fact for those that don't know, the colorway for this shoe is actually loosely inspired by a sample colorway of the Air Jordan 1 that never actually made it to production, and it was basically like a reverse royal, which is kind of what we see adopted on this pair. So first things first though, here's a quick look at the box. And whereas the low top version came in a sail colored box with blue accents, this pair is inverted with a predominantly blue cardboard box with white or sail colored accents instead. It still comes with that plastic sleeve with Nike, Fragment design, and Cactus Jack branding. And inside the box, they give us that same pink paper as well with those same logos that we saw on the outer sleeve. So diving into the details of the shoe, so the upper of the sneaker is constructed out of this very nice, very thick tumbled leather. On the toe box, we have this military blue colored leather and has this perforated finish to it, just like all your other Air Jordan 1s. And then surrounding the outer edge of the toe box, we have this very tumbled white colored leather, and this covers the majority of the frontal half of the shoe. So you can see we have this white leather covering the eyelets as well as the mid panel as well, and then stitched on top on the lateral side only, in true Travis Scott Jordan fashion, we have this oversized reverse Nike swoosh, which is constructed out of this black colored tumbled leather. On the upper portion of the shoe, we have this blue colored leather once again, and then stamped on the lateral side only, we have the Air Jordan Wings logo done in this shiny black finish. So this tumbled blue leather wraps around the back heel of the shoe, and then debossed on the bottom, we have the Cactus Jack face logo on the left foot, and the Fragment design double lightning bolt logo on the right foot. The medial side of the midfoot is a little bit different than the lateral side, so we still have that same tumbled white leather, except here we have your traditional smaller swoosh, which is facing forward. Surrounding the top portion of the ankle collar area, instead of your traditional leather, here we have this black colored nylon, and just like the previous Travis Scott Jordan 1, there's actually a hidden stash pocket here as well, which has a very nice pink colored lining. So in terms of laces, so these come standard with these flat black colored laces, but unlike the low top version where all the laces were waxed, these ones in comparison are just your standard cotton laces. In addition to the black laces, they also give you 3 extra lace options, so there's a pink colored lace, a white one, and a blue one as well. Underneath the laces, we have your traditional white colored nylon tongue. At the very top, we have this white tag with Nike Air branding in blue, and then stitched on the lateral side of the tongues. On the left foot, we have Fragment design branding in black and white, and then on the lateral side of the right foot, we have Cactus Jack branding in black and red. So the upper of these Air Jordan 1s sits atop this yellowed vintage looking rubber cupsole, and encapsulated within the midsole but not visible to the eye, we have Nike Air technology for cushioning. And then turning the shoe over to the bottom, here we have your standard Air Jordan 1 outsole. So this is done in this military blue colored rubber. We have this circular traction pattern on the forefoot, along with Nike branding right in the center. So that breaks down the look and the construction of these Fragment Travis Scott Air Jordan 1s. In terms of sizing, to me these fit like all my other Air Jordan 1s, so for most people, that means sticking true to size. Whatever size you normally wear for Jordan 1s, if you plan on picking these up, I'd stick with that same size. And again, I feel like unless you have really wide feet, you can definitely stick true to size. Moving on to the comfort of this shoe, honestly there's nothing special about this. This feels like any of your other Air Jordan 1s. So with that said, it's going to feel pretty stable, low to the ground and flat, and there's not too much from a softness and cushioning standpoint. But in terms of just everyday use, if you're just going to be walking around in them, they're going to feel perfectly fine. Last but not least, in terms of the overall quality and craftsmanship, so I gotta split this up into 2. So from a material quality standpoint, I thought the shoe was really nice. The leathers, like I mentioned before, it felt like they were very thick cut. They had a very nice soft tumbled feel to it, and it definitely wasn't the same sort of plastic-like quality we've seen on a lot of Air Jordan 1s this year. However, I had some issues with the craftsmanship. So there was some visible glue, especially where the midsole met the upper, along with some loose threads that I had to trim off myself. I guess all in all, it wasn't the biggest of deals, but I've definitely seen some GR Jordan 1s with better craftsmanship than this one, but to be honest, it could just be limited to my pair, and maybe everyone else's pairs were slightly better. With all that out of the way now, let's lace these up and I'll show you guys how these look on feet. Between the highs and the lows, even though the highs are reselling for a lot more, I honestly gotta give the edge from a design standpoint and a colorway standpoint to the lows. I think there's just a little bit too much white on the high tops, and I like the much more balanced look of the low tops. However, I don't want to discredit the highs at all. Hype aside, I still think it's a very dope colorway, and I think the military blue in combination with the white and the sail, it really is a refreshing take on the Jordan 1. Obviously, I would have wished that this shoe was a lot more accessible. It's crazy how limited this shoe was and how difficult it was to obtain. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but things like this, making shoes that limited, really perpetuates what I hate about sneaker culture, which is the super high resale prices and the fact that everyone you know now is becoming a casual reseller trying to get their hands on the hottest shoes just to make money. But at the end of the day, without any buyers, there's no sellers, so I gotta take some of the blame myself for adding to the problem. All that seriousness aside though, let me know in the comment section down below between the high tops and the low, which of the two do you guys prefer? And generally speaking, what are your overall thoughts on the design and the colorway of this shoe? Let's say for example, this pair was more of a GR. Would this be something that you would cop and rock? Or are you still not feeling the design of it either way? If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, check me out on Twitter at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. You can also check out my podcast called the Channel 8 Podcast. So the video version is hosted right here on my YouTube channel, but if you're looking for just the audio only version, it's hosted on most of your major podcast platforms, including Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your continued love and support. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.